Why is no one talking about Putin using bomber in Ukraine, allegedly killing 15,000 troops? Well, I am not talking about it because I haven't heard of it. Am I out of touch with what's happening in Ukraine? I myself haven't heard of this. Putin using a bomber in Ukraine, allegedly killing 15,000 troops. It's not impossible. And if such a huge loss of troops happens, it will obviously be Ukrainian troops with some Western troops thrown in, obviously, smattering perhaps, or maybe, I don't know what it is. So I haven't heard of this thus far. And maybe after this live stream, I'll go and check it out. Where have you heard this? Let me quickly go and do a Google search. Uh, Putin using bomber in Ukraine. Ukraine, 15,000 casualties. Really? Watch Putin's kamikaze, 15,000 Ukrainian soldiers. There are some YouTube videos that talk about this. Okay, let's try and do some tools anytime. Let's say the past week. Okay, the Russian Defense Ministry announced it has inflicted nearly 15,000 casualties on Ukrainian troops and destroyed over 122 tanks since the Kursk incursion began in August, and the Russian counteroffensive took shape early this month. So it's not a single strike, and it's not a bomber. It's a multiple. It's multiple uh, weapons that have obviously been used. It's once again. Let me put that back on the screen. It's not a single strike. It's not a strategic bomber or any kind of bomber. It's 15,000 casualties roughly on Ukrainian troops in the ongoing fighting since the Kursk incursion began. Okay, so that's the deal. Um, and yeah, so I think that's what the Times of India seems to be saying here. 15K troops killed in Russia's Kursk revenge. Okay, okay. I get what you're saying. Okay, so okay, I was not aware of that particular claim that they have that there's been 15,000 roughly casualties on the Ukrainian side. But yeah, that's the nature of warfare. It's troops die, unfortunately. So yeah, so it's not bombers. It's I'm sure there's artillery. There's this hand-to-hand fighting. There is sniping. There is small arms firing, grenades, all kinds of weapons that would have cumulatively caused these casualties in case this claim is correct. Okay, so in warfare, in this war especially, there's been so much disinformation, misinformation, claims and counterclaims. It's really hard to know whom to believe. At the end of the day, you have to either believe someone's claim or not. The Americans say that 300,000 Russian troops have died. They made this claim into, like, we just saw this, right? Scrolling, one of the headlines was that 200 or 300,000 Russian troops have died in 1 year. That's the claim they had made in 2023. I think that's a nonsensical claim because Russia is stronger than before. Russia is stronger than ever, and they clearly have the upper hand in the war. So those claims clearly are hard to believe. This claim that 15,000 Ukrainian troops roughly have died after since August, it is more believable. More believable. But once again, it's a claim, and nobody. I mean, there's no way to corroborate it. So that's the situation in war. It's the fog of war. It's always hard to know what to believe, whom to believe.